We will now continue with episode 46, Filling in the Gaps. In 2010, all hell broke loose. Everything in my personal, private and professional life became like a silent avalanche. And I went on a downhill journey as I was being tightly micromanaged, and I felt cloned. And I couldn't stop it. Oral evidence, other issues that were happening on or about 2010. One, I had a tenancy court case in regards to privacy breaches. And then on or about March 2010, I had a car accident that I had a reason of belief that was linked to the cyberbullying and attacks I was subject to at this point of time. I was also active in a hip-hop group. I was legally the CEO of this group at this point of time. I legalized it myself, and I was trying to sort out the issues that surrounded this group in the courts. Also at this time, I wasn't receiving my mail at home. That was an ongoing problem for me. When I lost my privacy, I wasn't receiving my mails, and if I did receive my mail, somebody had either opened it or I'll receive it and really, really late or not at all. The workplace bullying environment, I was completely discriminated against. I was left out of team emails in relation to my job. I complained about this a lot. I was also going through criminal harassment around the office. My job at this time entailed, it was a team workplace environment where everyone learned each other's jobs, or you had to be able to be transitional. You have to be able to do all types of jobs in this role, whether it be in the office or in court. So we were rotated around throughout the week. Our schedule for the day was scheduled by somebody else, so we never know what we're doing for the day unless it's on board. But in saying that, you could be scheduled for something on a particular day. You can come in the office on that particular day and you have to do something else because somebody else is away. But that's what it was like. You had to be ready just to drop things in the spare of a moment. My job involved a lot of working overtime, doing backlog and just, picking up each other's jobs. So one person could case manage one case, but the rotation, there's several people handling one file at one time. This is the system that was happening in 2010. So we were expected to do all the important things to do with the files and collating with the judiciary, case managing with stakeholders, whether it be professional or public. That was our role. One of my main jobs was taking courts. I was in court a lot. I am a perfectionist when it comes to my work or my job description or what I'm expected to do. My mindset is when I'm given a responsibility, that becomes my priority. So my job, once I know what I'm supposed to deal with, then I work within the job description that entails what my job entailed. You could come in, you pick up a file that somebody else has handled, and then you got to take responsibility at that time you've given it, whether you're in court or whether you are in the office, and then it goes to the next person. So everybody's got a set job. There are some people who had set jobs who were set for certain things. We had to pick up cases or issues as they are being given to you or allocated to you. Whether it's just for that day or for later on. But the system before that, registrars had a set job and they were responsible for everything, case managing and taking the courts. I also had missing belongings from my bag in my locker. One particular time my driver's license got stolen or went missing. So I put that in the protected disclosure that I had a reason to believe somebody had stolen my driver's license at this time. The other issues that I had was I had a reason of belief I was being set up to fail. And once, I've been set up to fail, staff would complain or make complaints, and all this was brought up at the team meeting. It was mainly my fault or my faults or my mistakes. Sometimes I felt like they were always about my mistakes, but I felt I was part of what I was going through, being completely victimized. And I actually complained about this sort of issue in some of the team meetings. It was very discouraging and soul destroying at that time. I felt like the highlight of the environment was all about me and my mistakes. I went through issues where I knew I was being blocked. That was an ongoing problem even before 2010. At this time, I was also going through serious indirect mental and psychological abuse. Some days were worse than others, but I couldn't do anything about it except complain. But yeah, that's the kind of environment I was subject to. It was an off and on problem in the workplace for me. I also had suspicion of people hacking into my work. The other issue I had at this time, I knew I had been poisoned, and I still believe I was. A lot of people in the office would have remembered me having this whooping cough, and yeah, I went to the doctor about it, and the doctor said to me that I had asthma, but I can confirm I'm not an asthmatic, and I haven't had that kind of cough or asthma since 2010, and the year today is 2020. I haven't had any health issues or anything like that ever again. The reason why I had a reason to believe I'd been poisoned was because of the length of time I had it, and I couldn't get rid of it, and it was really unusual and strange to me. But it was a very dry reaching cough. In fact, some of the staff at work complained or actually approached me about it because they were concerned and asked me if I was okay. So I had people asking me if I was okay because they'd never heard anything like it. It was kind of an annoying cough because it was so loud. And then I had people in my private life ask me if I was okay. The other issue that I had was I was officially being treated invisible in the office. I was like everyone just ignored me in the office, and I felt invisible or alienated or isolated or whatever word you want to call it, but that was the work environment I was subject to. I felt I was being held hostage and being ambushed in every area of my life, and I couldn't do anything about it. So I was going through real tight micromanaging set of circumstance, and everything negative. I was being attacked in every area of my life. I'm talking about my bank accounts. I'm talking about everything. That I started getting high blood pressure problems, the pressure of what I was going through, like avalanche way, where I had all these things that I had to deal with. There was my home management, my private life as a single parent, and all the things that entails that kind of life. Running the home, being a parent to 3 young kids, and all the responsibility around that. Then I had workload, and then I had the hip hop group, and then I had all this other abuse stuff that I was going through. So I did start getting like blood noses because of the pressure, but it was very dangerous. Looking back now, what I went through alone, it was horrific. Affidavit, personal profile. My name is the plaintiff, also known as alias. I have been working for the ministry for over 8 years now. I have been a single parent for 3 children most of my life without family support. Memorandum in response to mental health report of the plaintiff dated 8th of July 2009. Background: I have been subject to workplace bullying. Issues arising are as follows. 1. Referral was made by my manager at the time, manager's name, who called a meeting with myself and suggested I go for an assessment, as they believe, meaning the ministry, that I need to go for an appointment. I declined about going as I did not believe I needed to go. But employers said the ministry can actually make me go. Number 2, referral states on page 1, Minna is 40 years old and seems paranoid. Page 2 or 3 states she is paranoid. 3. Employer has stated in her referral on page 1 she had an outburst sending vile threats to workers about privacy issues and demanding apologies. 4. Referral states that my previous possible name of alias. 5. Referral states on page 3 of 8, childhood sexual abuse and rape. My response to the mental health referral. On or about May-June 2009, my problems at work got worse and I decided to seek help from the union for advice on how I can deal with workplace bullying that I was subject to at work. As the gossip and slander had got worse and it was affecting my reputation and relationship with some of the staff, I seek help from the union, who was a delegate, who helped me and advised me on how to handle the problem I was having at work. With his advice and support, I accordingly followed his instructions. Manager stated on page 1, she had an outburst sending vile threats to workers about privacy issues and demanding apologies. See emails attached. Letter dated 10th of October 2006, bracket, was the first time I had steps towards dealing with my work relationship problem with my manager. Letter to court manager. During this period of time, there were also rumours that I may be using another name. This brought me under suspicion that I was doing something fraudulent. Report confirmed on number 4 that my previous possible name of alias. I can confirm that I started working with the ministry about August 2002 in the jury trial depositions as alias, and then I had a name change back to my maiden name, which is Crichton. All this information is in my personal profile. The most upsetting frustration is that on the report it states that I was sexually abused and raped. This information I did not disclose to anyone at work or even to the mental health service assessors. On page 1 of 3, date 8th of July 2009, this is confirmation from my family doctor that she was surprised to hear of the referral to the mental health services. Additional information for support of my complaint are as follows. Number 1, mental health service report. Number 2, protected disclosure report that I submitted to the Commissioner of Police and other correspondence, etc. Number 3, correspondence between myself and union delegates. Number 4, extra information. I have reason to believe that all these accusations that I have stated in this affidavit and my protected disclosure is likely to be true, and if investigated, it is as I have claimed. I have felt victimized and retaliation. I have reason to believe that staff are being used to ask me questions, and then this information is used to disadvantage me. There have been incidents where I have been deliberately set up to fail. It seems management is more interested in picking on my faults and mistakes, and I have felt discriminated, and in many ways I have felt like I am being demoted. There have been times staff have made smart, cruel remarks towards me in an unkind, mocking manner. I keep a daily diary, notes of all my activities at work. Things have been so bad that it has affected the way staff react to me, as they are scared of what is going on between myself, manager and management. I believe that my phone calls have been monitored and my personal information have been passed out to people who don't work within the ministry. Please note that on the letter dated 29th of November 2010, I advised the ministry that I will be making a formal complaint to the Privacy Commissioner. I swear that this statement is true and to the best of knowledge and belief. Signed plaintiff, and it was signed before a JP. This portion of the evidence on my affidavit, this was actually sworn, so it became a legal document automatically, and then it also became an actual exhibit. It got sworn again as an exhibit in regards to my court case that was pending from 4th of July 2016 to 2018. There were numerous numbers of documentations and emails attached to support my complaint of workplace bullying within the office. A lot of it was to do, there was evidence in there with emails, correspondence where with staff, where I have felt that I was being set up or they were ganging up on me. There was quite obvious that there was something going on in the office, but there were definitely strong evidence on documentations at this time, just to indicate or just to give an indication that something wasn't right and going on in the office as far as being micromanaged and being outnumbered and attacked by the oppositions or by the alliance that had gotten strong by this time.